actually was talking to this prospect yesterday. I've been actually communicating with them over the last 2 months. I actually estimated the property. This is the one that I created a short on. That the guy, he estimated an additional 1,000 square feet. And I think I'm probably gonna beat him on the sod installation job, just because when you measure off 1,000 square feet, it makes a difference with your price point that you're charging a customer. I was 1,000 feet less than him, but anywho, the customer was actually getting a pool installed at the time, so they actually, they wasn't ready for the alarm be renovated. So the pool is completely done now, and I'm still at the top of their mind because he liked our conversation. He liked that I was pretty bit more detailed, and understanding that he possibly gonna need drainage things after the pool was installed. He actually already have an in-ground irrigation system, and he said they did a really good job at not damaging it. And that was like 2 months ago. And then recently he was like, yeah, he said when they looked like they installed the channel drain for the pool deck, they broke the main supply line for his irrigation. So he probably need his irrigation replaced or whatever as well. Say, man, I might need a whole new system. That's jumping to Z. He ain't gonna need a whole new system, but he might need a whole new zone. Like if the main supply line is broken and it wraps around the back of the house to connect, it's a possibility he might need, a zone or the main supply reestablished. But everything else should be functioning fine. Because some of the front yard, they didn't have to run over it with the bobcat or nothing. So was really bringing the cost up on the job, because this project is roughly around 10K. That's just the sod part of it, because it's a front lawn and back lawn. Small front yard. The backyard, you got a little bit more space, and the side yard between him and his neighbor is actually a decent amount of space. It's actually a green space, so it's connected to a green space. So he got a little bit more yard space on the side. But what's bringing the cost up on the job is actually tying in the downspouts. So you have being at the pool is elevated, of course. Water's going to slope away from the pool and the deck. So where's that water going to go? More than likely between him and the neighbors, right between the fence line. So that's a low spot. So there, I've already talked to him and I already measured this out. But I measured it out on both sides. However, I did miss one of the downspouts. So I'm gonna just go over some things with him when I get there, and I might even run the irrigation zone to see if there's a specific zone that's broken, or is it actually a main supply line that's broken. It shouldn't be the main supply line broken. I'm pretty sure it's just a zone. And to replace a zone is much easier than having to replace the main water supply. He said that he believed this main that's broken, that's going to the irrigation, but I don't think he may not understand what he's saying. He might just see water coming out when he turn it on. Because if the main water supply is broken, going to the irrigation, more than likely he would need to shut it off either on the backflow or on the well, it could have happened before the backflow. He would need to shut it off directly at the water main supply box. So I don't think that's what's going on. I think he probably just got a severed pipe somewhere in the backyard. So what's going on, y'all? Everybody look like they jumping in. Y'all keep it nice today, man, because y'all been wilding on here lately. Been seeing some crazy comments. But the downspouts. He had two downspouts in the rear of the property that basically were perpendicular right with the pool. So they definitely needed to be tied in, because it was a deck. Like if you walk out his back door, you got a concrete patio, and then it goes directly to the deck, then the pool. But there's not much space between the back of the house and the pool. The deck, I'm pretty sure, is right there alongside the house. So they concreted that in. So recently when I talked to him, I was like, hey, when they concreted that the deck in, did they reroute the drainage, your downspouts to your gutters? Because the thing is, if they're gonna put in a deck and then he was trying to fix his drainage issue, somebody would have to bust up all of that concrete just to tie in those gutters, or they would just put it on top, which would be tacky. So I asked him that, and he sent me pictures. Said, yeah, they tied it in. I was like, great. They didn't take it all the way outside their property. They just put it to the side, so it still needs to be tied into the other gutters, and along probably with the French drainage system. But got a few things going on when it comes to his drainage and his irrigation that's going to drive the cost of the project up. He's already kind of gave me the okay with, he's comfortable with the lawn renovation pricing, but he definitely wants to address other things, which I'm glad he's mentioning now, because it's easier to fix these things now than to get the lawn renovated, realize you have other issues, and then try to backtrack. Now you're damaging, a newly renovated lawn. So I'm going there to do my due diligence, estimate a little bit more accurately, because once it's complete, I want to know exactly where did they put the discharge emitter for the drainage on the deck. I want to know exactly which direction, because in reality, he has 5. He has 5 downspouts. I estimated 4, but he was like, hey, it's 2 of them, like literally 4 feet away from each other. On the side of the house. He said, I don't know why, that's kind of weird, but he said you probably didn't catch that one. But basically I got to tie in four downspouts to the pool drainage channel, and make sure it goes out towards the backyard and outside of his fence, 2 feet off the fence line. And in the same token, I got to be mindful of the irrigation system. So rather the irrigation system needs to be repaired or replaced, that's one thing to be considered of as well, because when you're doing drainage, they kind of fall within the same depths. Like a French drainage system and a irrigation system is usually either a 1 foot to 2 foot in depth, but not really 2 foot in depth, but at least 1 foot or more. So I got to be mindful of that when estimating the property. But as of right now, the lawn renovation alone, just for the grass, the guy estimated it around 5,500 square feet. I estimated around 4,500 square feet. And the price is subjective based on the type of grass that he select. It is a full sunlight area, so he can go with any type of grass, especially with him having an irrigation system. Usually one of the challenges is I try to limit what type of grass people are able to select if they don't have an irrigation system. But in this situation, he actually has an in-ground irrigation system. He has a full sunlight. Hey, sod grows on a sod farm in a whole open field, so he can choose whatever, because all of it needs full sunlight. Can deal with full sunlight for the most part. Do some do better than others? Yes. The Bermudas, they're a little bit more drought tolerant, and also the the zoysias. But that's a whole rabbit hole. It really depends on the cultivar of grass, because we got some unique grass in this area. What's going on, Lockdown? What's going on, Jordan? What's happening? Project estimate. I estimated this probably about 2 months ago, and the guy didn't make a decision early on, and I'm cool with that, because he told me, hey, they won't be done with the pool until at least late July and probably early August, and then I'll be ready to move forward. But I'm so glad that he got me involved early on, because I can help him prepare for the things to come. Because when people get a pool installed, they don't know all the other stuff, or, man, I didn't know my lawn was going to be ruined. Oh, man, I didn't know I was going to need to do my regrading. They don't know all those details, because more than likely, they probably only had a in-ground pool installed once in their lifetime. So they're not prepared for all the stuff, the aftermath of what comes with it. And unfortunately, just like a home builder, a pool installer, they're only really focused on getting that pool installed. That's their primary focus. Once that pool is installed and it passes all their tests or whatever, that's their main concern. The lawn, how the lawn looks and all that stuff. Not a high priority on their list because they feel like they served the client with what they needed, and they probably prepared them and had them sign agreements with what that would look like after. But being that I got involved with him early on, he was pretty communicative. And the thing about it, y'all, sometimes I learned this from a place where I was actually I was gonna buy a trailer at one point, but the lady name, I think it was Miss Yolanda or something like that, and she's like, you guys may not be ready to buy one today, but you may be able to ready to buy one next week, next month, and next year. And she's like, the thing is, I gotta eat next month, I gotta eat next week, and I gotta eat next year. So I'm gonna keep you guys in tune with whatever you need, and not treat you as if just because you're not here to buy today that that I won't serve you with a high quality. So that right there kind of stuck with me, and I make sure I do that with my client base, even though they're not buying today. At least give them the information to, if they make a decision later on down the road, that they have enough details to make an informed decision. Man, everything going to good today, man. I'm just out here doing some estimates, man. A estimate, one that I've already been working on. I got probably an hour in on this estimate because I had to measure out some drainage, measure out some the lawn size, the front yard, and double check and see where their irrigation is. Like, there's a lot of little metrics. Hey, when y'all joining in here, hit that like button, man. It only take a few seconds of your time. Hit that like button. It keeps me going. I'm gonna give y'all a walkthrough of this project here in probably the next 10 minutes. I'm almost there. It's a little bit on the outskirts of my usual area, but for the most part, it's still in the Charleston area. But yeah, you're watching, hit the like button. Hold your finger on the screen and hit that like button. You'll see the like button pop up. Just hit the like button. It don't take long. Appreciate it. But yeah, I think usually when I'm estimating a project, and say, for one, I like to perform with speed when it comes to when somebody makes an inquiry. If they schedule the consultation, the day of that consultation, once I walk that property, I'm hoping I can get that thing sent out that same day. That's ideal. Success, law, speed, and people can't make a decision unless they know how much stuff costs. Like, you could be that person that's like, oh, I got to dial into all these details, man. Have your numbers together. That way you can send it out faster. Because one thing about it is the person who picks up the phone, communicate with the customer, gets over to the property, measure the property, send them the quote. More than likely, they probably got a little bit more trust built based on just their actions of, hey, this person, they actually worked efficient at everything. I haven't seen any hiccups yet. You can believe that some contractors, and I've had this experience myself, you call the contractor or mechanic or somebody that come and serve you, they're like, well, I'm busy right now, and I'll probably be around there between 5 and 7, or I'll give you a heads up when I'm on the way. Then they don't come. Like, it's so many headaches that people deal with when it comes to contracting work. So when you are able to just check off those easy boxes of, hey, I picked up the phone, I went out to the property, I talked to the customer, I understand what they want and need. I'm gonna give them a few options. I'm not just gonna say, oh, it's this way or the highway. No, you got options. Say, you can, based on your property conditions, you can go with Bermuda grass, you can go with zoysia. Yes, there's a cost difference. Like, breaking down all the pros and cons, because at the end of the day, people buy for their reasons and not yours. Like, just because you want to sell them something don't mean they're gonna buy. They got their own reasons why they're gonna buy. So it's best for you to just listen when you get to their property and understand exactly where their pain point is. Like, this guy say, hey, well, I'm getting the pool installed and I didn't know the lawn was gonna be ripped up and how I look right now, etc. So I want to have a plan to get it on track. So me just hearing that out, all right, who costs 50 to 60,000 or more. This is a large investment. Yes, it goes back onto the equity of his property. Like, It raises his property value when he put that property on the market and it has an in-ground pool. So in reality, that's in place. It's gonna sustain. It's gonna be good in the long term. You're not gonna just put centipede or just some grass that is gonna get torn up within the next 5 to 10 years. You got to put their ideal grass so it look amazing alongside the pool. I've seen some opportunities with the pictures that he sent me though. I don't want to. I try not to sell virtually. As far as he sent me the finished job. He said everything is done. They're done with the plastering, etc. But when he sent me the finished product, I don't know. Sometimes when you guys go to properties and they have like an in-ground pool, but on the outside of the pool it's like elevated, like you can see like it needs to be. You can basically put a retaining wall there, a retaining landscape bed if you want to kind of dress it up, because his pool is actually a square, so it kind of got some sharp ends. So I'm like, I say I probably should give him a solution for that. And if I give him a solution for that, that means I would need to estimate, concrete blocks for a 3-foot retaining wall, to make a retaining landscape bed that's going to be around the pool. And preferably, I probably would try to suggest something like river rocks, something that's low maintenance, and plants that are low maintenance. Tie in his irrigation system with that as well. So now he got the pool, and it has a better finish on that outside when you're traveling on the deck side of the pool. Put some landscape there to kind of soften it up a little bit. His neighbor, um, what's going on, Whitney? uh, his neighbor, his neighbor has an in-ground pool as well, and he have two palm trees on the right around his pool. So that's something I may consider offering them, but I try not to offer things that I don't do. So if I'm not installing palm trees and I gotta go subcontract it, I know it'll look perfect with the pool, and they're not as invasive as far as the root system. That's ideal. People like to have palm trees around pool. They're trying to create a scenery to an extent. So I may suggest that. I'm gonna show you guys exactly what it looked like, so you guys get an idea of what I'm talking about. Because it's one thing to tell you about it, unless you're in the field and you're actually doing work like me, you probably don't know what what the stuff I'm talking about look like. But I'll be able to kind of paint a picture when I get to the property, explain to you exactly where the drainage is running and how I'm going to connect it to the drainage, and just the grading and things like that, because this property has its say, especially after the pool is being installed. So yep. What y'all got going on this Saturday, man? What do y'all have going on? Because it seemed like you jumped up and you chose YouTube. I was thinking about my content that I'm trying to continuously create for this channel, and when I'm out in the field, like doing something like what I'm doing now, as far as this estimating process, I'm gonna try to be doing this more so on live, because it's time consuming to do the editing and stuff like that for like some of my more informative videos, like how to remove shrubs and stuff like that. I'm gonna be, of course, continuously making the informative content as far as how showing you how to do something, versus on this, not to say I'm babbling, but it's more so conversational. But let me double check my GPS, y'all. Don't bounce out. All right, I'm back. I think, if I'm not mistaken, when I'm at this specific area where I'm going, the GPS, not GPS, the signal starts to get bad or whatever. Because I think I tried to slide when I was estimating this property one time. But I gotta show y'all the calculator, not the calculator, the area calculator, yeah, that I use when I'm out on property. It's called a Cam to Plan. This is on iPhone or Android. So say if you got somebody that's inquiring, and say you don't have your measuring wheel or whatever, I usually take my phone alone, and I usually measure with measuring tape to make sure it's kind of calibrated right. But in the same token, if I can double check the calibration of, like, if I measure 50 feet and then I put a pin down at the beginning of the 50 feet and at the end of the 50 feet with my phone, and it's the exact measurement, I'm pretty much good to go. So I start measuring out the properties with my phone, and I can actually have a visual. I can look at my phone and see, okay, this side of the yard is this side of the yard is that. Pretty helpful tool to have on hand. Have it been off? I would say a little bit. It's been off when it comes to when I compare the metrics I get from my measuring tape to my phone. They're slightly off, but it's not by much. It's not by much that it's off of. So I use that when I'm on site to have an idea of the area, the square footage of the area that I'm measuring or whatever.
This is true.
Dunswell. Almost to the customer's property. Almost there. Getting there. And this project, more than likely, I usually break these things down into days, and I this is stuff that I pretty detailed on my quote. But day one is site preparation, so we'll come in, we'll remove all the vegetation, all the grass, so we don't have any type of competing growth. Day two, this is actually, we'll have to replace or repair the irrigation system. This also is the time where we will start doing the drainage. We do all the in-ground work once the grass is removed. That way we don't have to worry about cutting up any grass or anything like that. So the third day is actually the sod install. Based on this project having two components that might be a little bit more time consuming. This is why I turn in. Let me turn here just 1 second. All right, y'all. I had to make the wrong turn. Of course, I made the wrong turn, so I had to turn around. But anywho, actually having drainage and irrigation, that's subjective on how long it actually would take to actually do the project. So this project could take 4 days, but typically our projects with irrigation and that's irrigation included, it's already extended out to 3 days. So day one site prep, day two irrigation or drainage, day three, that's the mayor's house.
Okay, I like that truck.
Yeah, that truck is crazy.
Is that
Huh? No, it's not a Cybertruck. It's a $100,000 truck though. That's his
How did you learn?
the only one in Charleston that got one. He the only one in Charleston that got that truck. It got a name on the back. I think it's called some Terminator or something crazy. But that is all right. What's going on, man? It seemed like people keep jumping in, jumping out. If you in the room, hit that like button. I ain't saying you owe me, but act like you know me. Hit the like button. All you gotta do is hold your finger on the screen and you'll see it, the thumbs pop up. Hit that like button. That keeps me going. It's gonna be coming up here soon. Let's see, where is it at? I think the house is right here. Where this red meter or something is. Kind of on the corner over here. Yeah. This is it. Boom. I am here. What's going on, A&J? What's happening, man? What you got going on this weekend? Just getting to the property. I'm about to I see you. A&J, boy. St. Louis. You done? Oh. There's some in there? I gotta turn up a little bit, y'all.
Should ask me something.
Yeah, I meant to ask. That's why I asked you. Did you get it? So I'm about to chop it up with the client. Dang, I hate when I got my key in my pocket and I pull up to a property and I shut the door in the truck and the truck start to beep because I'll be feeling like people be probably thinking I'm blowing a horn for them to come outside. Is there a clipboard down there?
I put it back here.
I got that same shirt that he got.
Oh yeah.
What's going on, Tom? SD Jones. What's happening with you? I'm about to show y'all how I put this sheet right here to work. This sheet is crazy. I ain't gonna show you all my details, but oh my gosh, this sheet is crazy.
Call ended.
All right, let me get to it, y'all. Get to it. Woo. What's going on, Mr. Jeremy?
No, not much.
You taking it easy, man?
He's sort of. We heading out to Ridgeville.
Ridgeville.
Car audio show in Ridgeville.
Oh, sweet.
Buddy of mine, his buddy down the street, his mom owns Twyla's place,
Really?
Beach Road.
Okay.
So.
Do you know this car show's a benefit?
Oh no.
I bet you guys are happy that the pool is finally in and done. Whoa,
You know-
look at that drainage.
Exactly.
Whoa.
So Heritage is supposed to give this a rough grade. Is supposed to kind of get this, but I don't know. It's the time frame.
My gosh.
So this is just gotten worse and worse. And I mean, this is different than when you were here.
Yeah.
So we can go around the other side and everything like that to get in the backyard because this is just
Gotcha.
a nightmare.
So does it seem like there's consistent water coming out?
Coming out.
Like out of where's this water even coming from?
Oh, this is
This is just rain,
just
just sitting?
rain. Yeah. and
Really?
So I felt for the guys yesterday, man. All the guys were holding the tarp up because they were plastering yesterday.
Oh my
And
God.
it was just thundering and lightning and striking and hitting there. And you got all these guys, you got guys in there trying to smooth it out real quick. And you got all the guys standing up there holding it to keep the water out. This was just the rain yesterday that we got, that little bit of rain for an hour. So that gutter and the other gutter right here shoot straight out right there.
Gotcha. So
So-
that puddled in no time.
It puddled in no time. The ruts in here and stuff like that, but this has just kept getting saturated and saturated. Like, this area just can't take any more. So
yeah,
that
definitely
these-
needs to get
these
rerouted.
fence posts are just gonna rot, So my thing is basically, that's why I was like, when I sent you that picture,
Yes.
I'm thinking from the inside post,
Uh-huh.
grade it out, French drain all the way down the fence.
Correct.
And then however many boxes you want to put, or what the distance you want those boxes, and let's push that out the back.
Okay.
So
And when I was here, I didn't put it in your estimate, but
Yeah.
I measured. You probably saw me measure that because I was like, I know they're probably going to tie these downspouts, especially right on the backside, because that water would get trapped if they didn't. But
so I mean French drain, but then at the same time too, these downspouts need to be put in the ground
Of
and
course.
ran out as well,
Correct.
along with the deck drain. So they see the little PVC.
Uh-huh.
So when we go around the other side, they put PVC fittings for the deck drain. So I mean, if it's at 90 or whatever, however you want
Okay.
to do it.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, and we'll put that directly into the drain to set it out.
And then when we get out there too, and I don't know what to do with these corners. Like I said, when I was talking with them yesterday, I was like, I wish I would have moved the entire pool over 5-6 feet to the right. I wish I would have centered the pool in the backyard rather than centering the pool on the back house.
Gotcha.
Because when this whole thing happened too, I was like, oh, I want the deck to be level. You know, I want the deck to come to the corner of the patio and stuff like that. I want everything to flow right and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
But it, you know, it kind of put a headache on the landscaping. You know, I'm not sure if it would have looked funny if the patio would have been like this and then grass and then deck. You know.
Yeah.
So that's where we kind of came into a problem with that. They are still they were going to stucco the retaining wall and the whole back wall.
Okay, so you are putting a retaining wall on that back side?
You'll see when we go around, but this left side is retaining wall.
Okay.
So the whole left side right there where the tavertine is, that's all cinder block retaining wall.
Okay.
But they were going to do stucco. I was like, no, let's not do stucco. I was like, when we're going to put the grass right up next to it or however we're going to do it, I was like, I'm going to weed whack and, you know, after a few times, I'm going to start chipping away.
Yeah.
So we're actually, the tavertine is actually going to be faced on it. It's going to be flush.
Okay.
And it's going to be all the way along the retaining wall and all along the backside.
Gotcha.
So,
okay.
So it'll look real nice and stuff like that. The grass can come up straight to it because we do want to keep the wall.
Okay.
On the back.
Okay.
So, the main for the irrigation is right there,
of
as
course.
you know. So, as they were doing the plumbing, they had to bring the plumbing along the back and then this way, and then come this way. So, as soon as they started doing it, three PVC ripped up, and I was like, oh shit. Now we're hitting it. So I'm gonna say it's broken somewhere in there.
Gotcha. So it's broken in somewhere in between here.
It's broken somewhere. Where the stick is, I guess you could say.
Okay.
Where you can see that kind of root sticking up. It's broken somewhere right there, and I want to say it's 3 of them.
3 of them.
So basically, I think they broke left back zone, this zone right here. So this is one zone. The back left of the backyard is zone.
Okay.
That's one zone, and then the back right of the backyard is one zone. So
okay.
I think they broke. Yeah, I think they broke this zone. I think they broke the main, this zone, and that zone.
Gotcha. So with the main being broke, did they shut it off?
Oh, main shut off. Yeah.
Okay, so
I shut the main off in the very beginning.
Okay.
I shut the main off. I spit out the backflow, everything. I unplugged the rainbird. Just
perfect. Okay. I was like, I was looking at this water. I was like, I wonder is it either on or something still leaking out? But you're saying this is just from the rain. It's
yeah, and I mean, honestly, with this, we moved in November, so this didn't. I would highly doubt this would already be, but this is rainwater too. It looks pretty perpendicular to me too, but it does dry up. So
yeah.
Honestly, if we can get these pop-up storms to stop and stuff,
yeah,
we might actually, get to see this dry at some point. Because honestly, I don't know how you work.
Yeah.
I don't know when Heritage is going to say, okay, we can get back there and get the skid loader and smooth it all out.
Yeah.
I don't know when that's going to happen because when they were bringing in all the masonry sand and everything to actually do the tavertine, do the whole deck and everything, and level everything out, they dumped all that dirt right here, as you can see, and they tried to get a loader and pick it up and move it that way, and it sank. It sank, and they're like, no, and so they had to wheelbarrow everything in the back.
My gosh. Yeah, it's kind of tough to work throughout the when it's wet.
Yeah, no, I don't doubt it. It's something.
But good thing you caught that. You shut everything off with water, because that would have probably been even crazier.
That's why I didn't know if it was gonna need a whole new irrigation.
No, it shouldn't need a whole new irrigation just because it's a zone. Even if it's the main water supply line, all that stuff is pretty much replaceable.
Because all them lines were ran under here. So this is the route that they took. So when they dug this up for the plumbing,
oh boy.
So basically they did. Yeah, they kept it close to the house. So I guarantee basically that zone and the front zone went that basically because here's all my zones. They went like this and went like that. And then spread that way, and then the main came in too. And so when I saw 3 of them get ripped up, I was like, damn, what's the third one? And I was like, it's the main.
Yes, that's definitely the main.
Everything got ripped up underneath here, and I actually don't know where it. I want to say probably somewhere around here. If everything just finally got severed and they called it or however, because they didn't come too far back this way. Most of the plumbing went, as you can see, went that way, went around the back side of the pool.
Gotcha. So when they did why did they have to dig here so deep though?
So they dug, basically, there is a light right there in the dead center of the,
Oh, gotcha.
so basically, right here is a light. So they basically dug all the way to here
To get that down to that
to
depth.
get that down to that depth, and so it's probably severed somewhere underneath here.
Understood. Yeah. So either way I go, we'll probably still be going around. We'll be connecting the main water supply back to the.
And I feel bad too, because it's gotta take a longer route.
Definitely got to take a longer route. Sucks.
Being a longer route, does it need to be a bigger pipe? Like, I mean,
No,
okay.
no. Because the water comes in at one point and
Okay.
each valve cuts on. So it goes out separately to each zone.
So
But
this whole back wall, it's actually gonna start right here, is gonna be this material, and it's gonna meet right up here,
okay.
and it's gonna be flush. So and it's gonna
Gotcha.
be level with the ground, so it'll look nice. So my
Gotcha.
big thing was, I don't know, this corner, we can probably do something. This corner probably won't be such an issue.
Okay.
Is that corner?
Yeah, I seen that. That corner over there is sharp right now.
Exactly. Like I tell you, if I'd have literally brought this corner to the edge of the house over there and shifted the whole pool, you know,
Yeah.
because I mean we would have still had that whole thing to work with, or if I would have brought it up to the edge of the far window right there, you know, again, if I'd have
Gotcha.
shifted this whole pool over 4 or 5 feet,
That wouldn't be a thing.
yeah.
Gotcha.
So, I mean, we were splitting doll hairs getting the excavator around that corner even before the deck went in, you know. 'Cause,
Man.
I mean, they had the hole right there, so I mean, you can imagine 8-foot wide excavator or 4-foot wide excavator trying to get around the corner of just the hole in
Yeah.
general.
Jeez.
Because when they went to go do the plumbing, they had to use the excavator because they had to dig it down all the way.
Gotcha. So the plumbing, do you know where it exit the pool? Because I'm pretty sure. Do they have a discharge for like the overflow anywhere already?
Already out the fence.
Already out.
So yeah, so if you look, right there.
Gotcha.
That's that auto overflow or whatever.
Gotcha.
I mean, I don't know if it's better to put that out a little bit more. But this doesn't hold, the back fence never holds water. Because I honestly feel like even as soon as you hit the fence, the ground kind of slopes
Yeah, slightly.
slightly enough to keep the water out that way.
Exactly. So when I was here and I measured out basically that gutter
Yeah.
going all the way to the back, and I also measured from this gutter going to the back because I know being that they're on two different sides of the house, I was like, well, if they tie this in, it would probably have to come out. This right here was 17 feet over from the other one to it connects to it actually goes to the back.
Yeah.
And it's
So-
50 feet going out to the straight back. So I got some of those metrics, but I just missed that one gutter over there.
So this right, I was hoping that this part of the deck drain and that gutter can be tied into this,
That's
all
exactly,
existing,
yes.
and then draw this out on
Correct.
the other side of the fence.
That's exactly what my
Okay.
thought process was.
Okay.
That's why I looked at that. This right here, I think they're 10 feet apart.
Okay.
And then coming out from here, this gutter is 17 feet from alignment with that. And I was just going to go line that straight up and drop the grade down so it slopes out.
Okay.
And connects. Everything connects. But the channel drain now, we could add that in as well
Okay.
because they should have added that in if they're gonna, you get what I mean? Because I'm assuming.
I know, trust me. They were like, "Oh, we don't run your deck drains, out to pop up. We don't run them out to pop up drains, this and that, And this is with the I'm not sure if this was good or bad, but they're like, basically the whole pool project was like, you're selected for 25 feet of drain from the gutters, and I was like, oh, okay, well.
Yeah.
So this was my 25 feet limit,
Oh,
and I bet
gotcha.
and I would highly doubt that it's even squared. I don't think I think since it's corrugated, they just did a nice good swoop.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah, because I mean, if it would have been squared, none of this grass or dirt has been disturbed.
Uh-huh.
So you can kind of see where it probably does a nice good swoop.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
I'm not sure if that makes it harder to tie in or whatever, but I mean.
No.
It's somewhere, or how the deck drain is going to tie into that as well, because I mean it's kind of probably coming. Again, it's probably on the closest to us. It's probably on the outside of the deck drain underneath.
Okay.
So
Gotcha. So yeah, more than likely we'll come in with the downspouts and the drainage that we tie into it. We're probably going to use a solid pipe. Reason being is the water travels faster outside of it. They already use corrugated. I don't know if you know about corrugated
Yeah.
and how the water travels
Oh,
through
it's
it.
just got
It
to go
takes
over.
a
It's got to
yeah,
go
it
over
takes a
everything.
much
Yeah.
longer. Being that you have the pool decking and stuff like that, I would want that volume of water to be pushed out a
Yeah.
little bit faster. Definitely to make sure it gets out to where it needs to go.
Yeah.
But I
I
don't.
mean, this has been operating. I mean,
Okay.
I watched it one day pop up. The rain comes quick and heavy, so you don't got to sit out here and just like stare at it for a minute. It shot up pretty quick. So,
Sweet, sweet.
but
Yeah, definitely throughout our day one, far as so typically our day one is usually prep. We remove all the grass out of
hmm
the way. But with the drainage and the irrigation being a factor, that probably might be a 2 day process.
no, I
Just because
mean,
we do have to,
yeah,
we have to make sure everything is functioning once we tap into. Because we're gonna start where your backflow is, and we're gonna have to do our due diligence, being that there's plumbing in here. You know, we
yeah.
got to be mindful of that. There's plumbing
Well,
in
it's
here.
pretty deep.
It's pretty deep.
Yeah, so basically how all the plumbing worked, I mean, you can kind of see they kept how you see where these returns are
Uh huh.
or these supplies or whatever. Um, those they kept those pretty close to the overall wall.
Okay.
But as far as like I guess the drains and the skimmer and stuff like that,
Uh huh.
that like comes out and it goes straight down and then kind of goes this way and that way. Because I'm telling you, they had to dig down deep to run that plumbing.
Gotcha.
From
Okay.
what I saw, because I mean, after the hole was done, everything like that, I was like, cool, we didn't hit nothing, blah blah blah. And then I woke up one morning and I looked out the back window, I was like, they are fucking the yard up hard now. Like I was like, Jesus Christ, like I'm telling you, it was a hole big enough where I was like, man, I'm surprised there ain't no shoring out there or something, like. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that was just the additional stuff that come in. I mean, this corner not so much. I don't know to make it uniform if some sort of steps would maybe help. I honestly don't know. I know a French drain over there along the fence will help all the wonder, but I just don't know how to get the grass because the corners are completely different.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know how to get the grass to transition to the edge of the pool, as especially on that side. Because
so-
like this side, I feel like you can.
So when you sent me the pictures, my mind went from, because I didn't see this corner right here, but I did see that corner. I was like, oh man, I wonder what that finish is gonna like. I said, that's not a pretty finish. I was like, it's two options you can do. One, of course, we can build the grade up and it just naturally slope out. So that way, if you got any overage, but that's a small area outside of the deck to actually have grass.
Yeah.
That's one option. Option number two is actually building up like a landscape bed around it and put rocks. That's a little bit more costly. That's the option too. You can make that finish over there, like basically not be. You can have that whatever you're using as far as bricks to build a landscape bed around that corner. Only challenge is when you start to mow, can a mower even fit between that fence and the?
Oh, I don't even think I'm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty tight.
I do like, I do want to keep the back. I mean, are you still good on the back wall the grass staying low?
The grass stand low.
Yeah. Up against the nice tavertine.
Yes.
Okay.
It can definitely stay low, and you just have basically a lift. Basically, you're saying like you would like this to stay flat to an extent.
Well, to an extent, I mean, yeah, we don't want water to come in and just go straight.
Of course.
Towards the pool wall, but I mean, and that we'll see how low they go with it. I'm assuming they're going to go all the way to the dirt as it sits right now, but definitely that dirt can definitely come up.
Correct.
To at least give
it a slope.
Just give you a little bit to where at least it comes out this way.
Okay, yeah.
We don't want all of our water to hit the backyard, and then even if it's like this, it just sits right here, and
Correct. Yeah. Okay, but yeah, this corner is kind of what I know it's kind of mushy over here. I'm gonna walk over here just so I can. You probably had it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, you probably got a shoe back here somewhere. Yeah, you'll be able to fit a mower through here. Probably not a zero turn, but at least a push mower. You might be
with the Bermuda. I mean, I'm gonna get me a nice self-propelled and just.
Oh yeah, you should be fine. Yeah, you should.
Don't know what exactly but I mean, if everything is going to be graded like that, I mean, do we just keep it flat?
Keep it flat, but I wouldn't worry too much about the definitely about the water or it puddling.
Yeah.
It's a small area, But you can bring the grass up.
So let's just leave it square.
I would probably leave it square, just because it's a small area.
Okay,
Unless you're,
that's what I was thinking. I mean, it would be nice. You just stand right here, and you got your tavertine, and then you just got your grass
yes,
nice
yes.
and good, and I mean, and like you said, it'll have that slope.
Yeah, and the drainage will be able to catch everything through here because everything got to get routed out through here. Either way it go. And you said they went over there. I wonder why. So that mean they turned over here and they didn't go straight out?
Well, so all this looks like this.
Okay.
So bad because this is where the actual equipment. They literally they came around, and this is where they just kept going.
Oh, gotcha.
But this right here is really where everything got buried.
Gotcha.
So they basically tracks from the equipment and everything, and then just kept doing this right next to the pool. Because I'll dig up the photos and stuff like that to give you a better idea. I think the wife got them, but yeah, they just dug all this.
Gotcha. Okay.
So you can get an idea of how close they stayed to the pool.
Okay. More than likely, like when it comes to us actually having to tap back into the main water supply, we're gonna try to stay close over here as possible. But we're gonna come out at least probably 3 feet away from this.
Okay.
Even though we're gonna try to keep it close, I don't want to go too close. I know you said it's deep, but just don't want to risk the chance of us using any type of machinery and it damaging anything.
Yeah.
You just got this installed. So we're gonna probably stay 3 foot off the pool.
Okay.
And come with your main water supply line and try to tackle it in that sense. But I'm gonna try to be very mindful of the spacing of it, how far, because I don't need to take all the way back there, but we do need to. There's 2 things that we're gonna do. First thing we'll be doing, which would be day 2 more than likely, is we'll be fixing the irrigation. That'll be first, and then we'll do the drainage. We got to make sure, because they're gonna kind of be in the same type of pathways to an extent. It's best to do both of them at the same time, that we can get them out of the way. But that probably would be a 2-day process, because the irrigation is almost like chasing rabbits when it's trying to figure out, like, well, okay, where's this pipe? Where we gotta replace?
That sprinkler head you see over there that snapped. I don't even know where that. I'm assuming that was probably this one that was right here in the corner. I think that's probably that one, maybe.
Okay.
So.
Gotcha.
But besides that, there I know there was some along this fence that's the whole other, I guess in a roundabout way. This zone, and I think the one out by the street probably is just I got one head out by the street that they just keep running over left and right. So
gotcha.
But I mean, as far as this zone and that zone are just trashed right now, and like I said, that main is. Because from what I saw, it was literally like, it went like this, and then shot that way. So basically everything came down, and I want to say, probably the deck drain, all them PVCs went like this and came here. At one point I saw something sticking out, so.
Yeah, it's probably with the mud and stuff, it kind of got covered back, but.
It's been a nightmare.
Yeah, we'll be able to tap into it to definitely see what's going on with it and replace whatever, especially with these zones and everything coming between here. But the day 2 will be of course the irrigation and drainage type jobs. Hopefully we can get the irrigation situated that day. Then day 3 will be drainage irrigation day again, just because I think we're going to need time to actually figure that out. And then the last day, of course, that's when we'll come in and actually put down the sod and things like that.
And
but
my big thing too is it's like right now it's like I don't know if this is ever going to dry up until someone levels it out at some sort. Someone just kind of pulls all this dirt back, and fills it in or whatever or however.
So there's a few different ways to do it. Typically, like if we're just catching consistently rain, we come in with a sump pump and we actually get all of the water out, and then we put down, like you said, some raw material that we don't have to worry about sinking. And we actually give it like a couple days to try to give it a day or so. If we don't catch any rain, we should be fine, and then we can actually come in and actually start performing some things. But it is tough to try to work through the mud.
Well, I'm hoping. I think, what is it? I said no more rain. 50% on Tuesday, but it gets so hot and the pop-up storms just. Boom, I'm telling you, we didn't expect any rain yesterday, and they had already sprayed it all. They were smoothing out, and then boom, it just hit, and everybody was
just
scrambling.
A little bit.
Everybody was scrambling, and it dumped for an hour.
Wow.
And this was soft yesterday.
Yeah.
But not standing.
Yeah.
And it just all came so quick. So, but I mean, like I said, bringing this all back down to the fence, you know. That's another thing, with hopefully not scratching up the fence or damaging the fence, you know, at the same time too. And then, I mean, it's whatever you want, you know, however you want.
This will be a slight slope.
Okay.
Right here is going to have a slight slope. See where your current grass is?
Yeah.
We can kind of go right where it's already at.
Yeah.
Go with a slight slope to kind of just bring it back to norm, like you said, and keep it. I'm not going to have it above grade on the fence, so the fence don't rot at the bottom. But we'll put the drainage system in that will help a lot. With that stuff being tied in, of course, we're still going to get all this stuff that come off the deck and just straight rainfall, but all of that will have a French drainage system where it's capturing the surface water. So that surface water, it'll redirect it as well. So
if there was a French drain on this fence line, I mean, I'm glad it's not, because I probably would have tore the hell out of it with the excavator.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, you know, I think once there's a French drain on this fence line, it'll just be night and day.
Oh yeah, it captures all that subsurface level water, so
it just shoots it out the back.
Correct. So that right there is the kind of the game plan. I really wanted to make sure I spoke with you and at least walk with you a little bit, because definitely some things that slightly change. It looks amazing though, man. And you've given me some tips. You said centering it on the back of the house, because I never thought about that.
I mean, I told the guy, I was like, oh, you don't necessarily need an architect, but you got to look at the whole pool project as an architect. You know, how big's the equipment? Make sure they have ample amount of room. You know, don't push the limits. And then, you know, really think about landscaping before even picking your
start.
You know, just the whole 9 yards, like just everything.
Oh yeah.
Because I mean, I think it just would have, but I said, like, you know, if this, you know, it would have, I felt like it might have been weird if, you know, probably right here, you know, you just step onto grass or something, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know if it would have looked weird if it was a L-shaped and not squared, so.
Yeah, that's it.
But I did like how they, you know, kind of keep all the travertine nice and tight.
Nice. Yeah, I think it looks amazing. I've seen some of Heritage jobs. Heritage and what's the other one? Blue Haven. Blue Haven, Blue Haven. I've seen a few jobs. This one's looking pretty good. Looks pretty good. I'm taking notes though, because I'll probably begin a pool install before.
I'm telling you.
Heritage just seem like they've been a majority of properties. It seemed like people choose them more than Blue Haven.
Well, it's like the little things. Like, they use clear covers. And actually, because they have white ones in there, and I said, oh, here's the covers. Like, no, we don't use those. We buy specific clear ones, and we actually plaster over the clear ones, so all you literally see are the rims. Little stuff like this. This is the skimmer cover. That's built into the deck.
Really?
So you don't have that plastic cover that the kids, you know, when they run and step on it and it snaps or you know. So I was happy with this, you know.
Nice.
It's just those weird little things. They put enough lights in here to, you know, pretty much. They said the lights are so bright because it's gonna be. That's gonna be a light down there. This is gonna be a light down here, and that's gonna be a light there. But they were like, they're gonna be so bright. I was like, oh, what if you put one right there? Like, no, you don't want it facing the house. It'll
brighten you,
shining into the sunroom and stuff like that at night. And I'm like, oh, okay. So yeah, basically it'll have 3 different lights shooting out and light up the pool.
Nice nighttime setting.
the whole panel that they put on there, it can do, you know, I don't have a heater or a chiller installed, but the whole panel's already set up for it.
Yeah.
So all you need is the equipment. All the electrical and the control system is there for those 2 pieces of equipment if you choose to do those in the future.
Gotcha.
I opened up the panel and I was like, oh man, that's a lot of stuff in here, because it was like heater, chiller, all this stuff, and I was like, I ain't got that, but I mean it's already set up. So I imagine it would just basically be plumbing it in and then taking those wires and just running them straight to your control panel. So they actually give you a panel way more than you need, but it will meet future needs if you choose to go that route.
That is awesome.
So they're not like, oh, you know, oh, you want a chiller, you want a heater, we got to install a whole new panel, all new, you know, and the equipment. Nope, just put the equipment in.
Nice. That's nice. That's a nice little touch to add on some things if you want to upgrade in the future. But I got a good idea of, you know, what you
well, your bid came in just right, you know, I guess, to add these things.
Yes.
You know? So I guess right now I'm kind of ahead, you know, 10, 11,000.
Yeah.
Adding all this extra stuff.
Yeah, I was looking at the I think you told me. I think you told me the previous guy was at 5,500 the square footage.
55, yeah.
I was wondering why. I was like, how did he come up with 55? Because I measured it twice. I'm like, I say, man, it's. And then based on you know that area, you said you were gardening in some of the area, etc. So I was like, yeah, he shouldn't have been at 55. It makes a significant difference with the cost that goes into the project. So.
Well, and sometimes too, I don't know, maybe he was trying to get an extra pallet for, his own house back there. I don't know.
He wasn't trying to get a pallet for his house, man. No.
He would always pull up and be like, oh yeah, I got some extra grass left over from my job. I'm gonna go put it in my backyard.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, for mine, I'm like, oh, dope, whatever.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm a stickler about that, man. So with the jobs I do, man, I'm so upset if we never have a full pallet. It's given we're gonna have a half a pallet, maybe 3/4 of a pallet, something, because it's not symmetric. Like the measurements are always a little bit off, but to have a full pallet, oh, I got 2 extra pallets. Hold on, man. This customer just paid for a whole extra labor that they didn't need if you got too much grass. So I try not to have too much grass. But yeah, I got a clear picture of what we got here. I'm gonna measure out some things. It's gonna take me probably about 10 minutes here, and then from there I'll be sending over a revised quote with the drainage in it, because I didn't include none of the drainage because I wanted to see what this was going to finish out like, but I already had some of the metrics.
I didn't expect it to be this close to the house. I'm telling you, they didn't actually put a specific measurement on where the deck drain was supposed to go, just in the actual blueprints. You can see it looks like it's center. And then when they were laying out the tap routine, I'm like, dang, I was like, why'd y'all put it so close to my house and stuff like that? And they're like, well, we got to have some slope and stuff like that. So,
Gotcha.
So basically, all these are kind of just canted ever so slightly, and you can kind of see that the whole deck is kind of ever so slightly,
Gotcha.
I came out here with the marble. I was like, at first, because it all looked flat to me. I was like, bullshit, So I came out here with the marble and set it against the house, and of course, it rolled to the left and then it rolled to the right. So.
Gotcha. Oh man, it looks good though. The pool, they look like they did a good job.
Well, and I'm telling you too, I didn't know it till the sales guy came out. I was like, I don't like some of these stones that they've already put in. It's like, I know it's natural stone. I know it's not gonna be perfect. Blah blah blah. He's like, if there's ones that you don't like, or I always say, if you think you're gonna cut your foot on it or it catches your shoe or something like that, he was like, we'll swap them out. And I was like, oh, okay. So that's what all these blue tapes are for. These are all the ones that they're gonna come out and swap out, because I don't, there's just too much natural corrosion on them already, where I feel sharp edges. I went down there and I'm just like rubbing my thumb and I'm like, nah, that's kind of sharp. So
yeah, you don't want to be no type of safety hazard. You guys walking out and cut your foot trying to get in the pool. How does that work? It's like, I was trying to enjoy myself, and I guess I didn't call it out. I was being a little passive about it, and the next thing you know, these stones are actually causing problems. But definitely with you. But yeah, I'm gonna just capture some measurements. In reality, I kind of already know. I know this comes out 17 feet.
Okay.
That gutter comes 17 feet to here, because I was kind of they call it what's the word for it when you measure 2 different angles. Anywho.
But I really
triangulate. There we go.
I just really feel like a French drain along the wall, and every single bit
just tied in,
shooting out, and the deck drain. The yard will probably be.
It'll be fine. I think it'll be fine. Yeah, I'm glad they did that piece. That was a big piece, because I was like, man, I hope they do something with it. It's because I didn't know how far, because they did have the framing up, but I was like, I don't know if it's gonna stop. What's happening, y'all? I don't know how much conversation you caught, but about to finish out here. A&J, man, I'm pretty sure that's probably you that sent me that blessing, man. All right. So this is the project. They actually had a pool installed, and 25 feet out from the gutter is usually where the pool company actually give them a limit to. So they tied these 2 gutters that's on the back of the house to this discharge emitter. But we got to get this gutter right here, tie this in, and actually make sure it goes outside of this fence line. One of the challenges I'm looking at is this area here. We are going to have to plan accordingly with the weather, because as you can see, it's pretty muddy from the pool doing its plumbing and stuff like that. This right here, he got standing water. And right here, he said, is actually where all the PVCs for the irrigation. The main irrigation main is over here, right by this red thing, right? It all comes here and then it ties over. The backflow is actually on that side of the house. So 3 pipes were broken right here. So more than likely, it's the main supply line and probably 2 different zones. So we're definitely gonna have to figure out. And he said it also got damaged all through here because this is where they said they pulled up pipes through there as well. So it's a lot of. We're probably gonna have to replace the main supply line and probably, I'm assuming, possibly 2 zones when it comes to fixing the irrigation. As far as the drainage, you see these 2 gutters right here. One of them is the awning, the other one is the top roof line, and there's an abundance amount of water that comes out. So we're going to tie both of these into right here. This is a pool channel drain. So all of them are going to tie into a solid pipe, and they're going to go out towards this back fence, more than likely 2 feet outside of that fence where it slopes down. The water will discharge. But as you can see, there's a bunch of water right here. All of this would need to be captured, and this is going to be a French drainage here. More than likely, we'll put a few basins. We'll put one here, probably one here in the middle area, and probably one towards the side area, just to make sure we're capturing all the water and routing it accordingly. We do have to be mindful that there's plumbing that goes to the pool that comes through here, which he did explain to me that the plumbing of the pool does stay fairly close to the pool, so we don't have to worry about you know, if we're coming 3 feet off of the pool, we're gonna hit anything. But that's probably the limit. I'm gonna go 3 feet off from the pool decking, all the way around, because if I got to tap into the main water supply and come this direction, I don't want to damage any of the pool plumbing by digging too deep or something like that. But there's 3 things that are going to be going over right in between here. And I kid you not, if you can see, this is the end of the pool. This is the fence. This is roughly probably 3, maybe 4 feet. That's a very small space. And between this space, we're going to have all of the irrigation. There's going to be 3 irrigation lines because it got to go over to the backflow. And then we're going to have 2 4-inch pipes coming through here. We're going to have a French drain, which may be corrugated pipe within the sock, and we also may have a solid pipe. And I might use a solid pipe because it's downspouts of gutters, etc. I want to make sure that water exits out of this tight area so you don't have standing water. We are going to bring the grade slightly up right here. We're going to build it just a little bit. There's going to be a slight slope towards the fence line. We want to make sure when we do the grading along this fence that it's not too high to the point where it's actually rotting out the bottom of the fence. So we're going to try to get it to where it was previously. This area here, I was telling you guys that there's an option to do some landscaping, but we did look at option number 1, and that's actually building it up, building the grade up right along this outside of the pool, and it actually have a slight slope, and this area can be pretty flat. That's pretty much what we'll do in this area, but we want to make sure all of this stuff is flat. In the process of actually doing this job, more than likely, a process would be day 1, we come in, we remove everything out, all of the grass, all of the vegetation. Day 2, that's where we start the irrigation repair. We want to get the irrigation in place first before we actually do the drainage. They are going to coincide as far as be within the same pathways, because we typically go 2 feet to 2 feet to 1 to 2 feet down when we come to the drainage and the irrigation main supply lines and zone pipes. So it's definitely a little bit of a process. And then based off this pool, these gutters being already in place, and we have to tie this channel drain to the this outside gutter here, because I want to try to alleviate any water drainage issues. This right here is the gutter that we're going to tie in to this channel drain right here. See that channel drain? We're going to do that's a 1-inch pipe. We're going to tie that 1-inch pipe to this this gutter, and all that will travel out through here. And more than likely, I'll be able to tie in this this discharge emitter. So 1 solid pipe going straight out the back. I don't think there's necessarily French drainage that's needed on this side, but the other side definitely so. Definitely so. But let me get my measuring on, y'all, because I don't know what y'all caught me doing, but I was definitely having a lot of conversation just so I can get clarity on what needs to happen here. Ugh. And it's 100 degrees. Let me do something real quick. We have. I'm actually going to show that I'm drawing out the backyard and the gutter of where it needs to actually go out to. I got this space here. My gosh, dripping. So hot I can't even think straight, y'all. So hot. So hot. Alright, so let me finish what I got going on here. Put this over here.
I'm about to measure out is the drainage system and how far it goes. And more than likely, I'm trying to keep that drainage, keep it going straight or whatever. So I'll be popping up right outside of here, but I need to make sure it slopes correctly. So I'm gonna try to find some placement right now. Me and the client was talking about how if we got all of this water being discharged from this house, as far as the, the gutters, the French drainage, he don't want the issues with the water flowing back towards the house. And that's not a problem, y'all, because looking right here, you can't tell on camera, but it does. It's a dip right here. It dips from right here. It slopes slightly this way. That discharge come up right here. And that's literally, let me show you, probably 3 feet from the fence line. Let me show you. Yeah, see? Right at 3 feet. See that 3 feet? This is where the drop happens. So that water, it'll puddle all back here and it'll flow directly down. And there's a lake right there, a pond, I mean. So we don't have to worry about that. 3 feet out from this fence line. So what I'm about to do now, if I know I'm 3 feet out from the fence line, I need to measure from the back fence all the way to where the drainage is going to begin, which is right there where that post is at. You see that post? You see all this water, right? You see all this standing water? And this is just from a little bit of rain that we had yesterday. Man, it projected rain. He said, man, they were plastering the pool and it started to rain. And he said, man, it filled up so fast. And he said it made it hard for them to work. So I'm going to come a little bit more prepared. I'm actually going to have a sump pump to actually get this water out so we can actually put down some raw material that we don't have to worry about working in mushy mud, because that's not ideal. So I need to measure from this back fence right here. I'm gonna put this down and start my walk. So the back fence all the way to where the drainage starts at. So I'm gonna measure from here all the way to where all that water, we're gonna capture all this surface water. But the challenge here is we don't have a lot of clearance as far as space between the pool right there. So the irrigation and the drainage is gonna be fairly close to each other. I don't like it. Dang it, my whole shoe just got stuck in the mud. Yeah, it's a lot of standing water. Y'all hit that like button, man. I ain't gonna even say the like button, hit the respect button, because I respect everybody out here who doing this type of work. Alright, so see, I'm capturing where the low spot is. The lowest spot is definitely gonna be closer to the fence, y'all. So I wouldn't measure, oh, it's just gonna be, in the middle. No, it's gonna be measured probably 1.5 to 2 feet off from the fence is that low spot. That's where I want to capture all the water that's draining out from the gutters. And then I got to make that slope going all the way out towards the exit. But for clarity, let me try to get this thing in the right place. I try to make sure my line is straight and it ain't all wiggly. But we're looking at roughly around 64, almost 64 feet. But I'm gonna actually go a little bit farther because, as you can see, there's water here as well. I'm gonna do 74 feet. 74 feet. This will be the French drain. Now the downspout drainage, which would be a solid pipe, is going to be less. It's actually going to start right here. Solid pipe is basically something that's not it's not perforated, it doesn't have holes in it. And the reason for me using a solid pipe is because I want the water to come through the pipe, straight pipe, and then come out to here and go full speed down there. If you use a corrugated pipe, it takes a while for it to fill and for it actually to, fill up and discharge. Also, right here where this channel drain, just like on the other side, we're gonna have to tie in a solid pipe. This will be a 1-inch pipe. It'll be a 1-inch pipe, and it's gonna come and probably do either a 45 the slope or probably a 90. I'll probably do a 90, make it go down, and then tie it in and make it slope. Because I'm gonna bring the grade up over here either way it goes, just a little bit, because it's pretty in depth based off them using a machine here to do the pool work. So I'll use a 90 right there, because all of this is flat. The water will be captured through this channel drain, and then it'll go straight down. I want it to go through there and flow out both sides of the channel drain and drop straight down. But as soon as it dropped down, probably like 4 inches, I'll put another attachment on to where it actually slopes out towards the solid pipe, and it'll tie in right there. It'll tie in that solid pipe. So you got 2 gutters right here. These 2 gutters, they'll tie together. One pipe come out, and this will tie in, and that straight pipe will go straight down there. But that'll be side by side with the French drainage. I'm gonna keep them together because they're both 4 inches, and then that should be a solution to the problem. But right here, if I'm just estimating correctly, this is right at 40. Let me see. Let me make it line straight. I'm gonna say 49 feet. So I got 49 feet right here with the gutters, both of the gutters tied in. And I'll have to use additional probably 6 feet of 1-inch pipe to tie in. And that should be it. Let me write this down on my sheet over here. And I'll write all this stuff down because I'm not gonna remember it once I'm gone. So we got 6 feet channel drain, tie in, and I'm gonna put main side. I'm gonna say main side because this is the main entrance to the backyard, and there's 2 of them, so I want to be able to know exactly which one. Or if anybody else is looking at the sheet, they'll know exactly what I'm talking about. The main side is where the fence is also down as well. This is why a lot of the work was done through this side. So main side, 6 foot channel drain, tie in 1-inch PVC. And the other side, I need 10 foot. And then on this side here for the solid pipe, I'm going to go ahead and put that in, solid pipe. I already got the other side measured out, and they're pretty. So we got 49 feet plus that 3 feet that's outside of the fence. That 3 feet that's outside of the fence, that brings us up to 52 foot. 52 foot main main drain. I'm writing this stuff down on site so I don't forget, because it's easy to forget all this stuff that I'm writing down. It's pretty detailed though, man. My pen is acting funky with me. Luckily I got 2. Got that Chase. Y'all see that Chase pen? Yes, sir. Alright, so we got 52 foot main drain, 4-inch solid. Alright, so I got that. And the French drain, I told you guys, is 74 feet. And I'm looking at the point of settling or standing water. If we got standing water there, more than likely there needs to be a drainage there to reroute that water. And that's even after doing the grading. And it keeps problems down for them and the neighbors. So 74 feet French drain, 74 plus the 3 feet, so we got 77 feet. Let me make that right. 77 feet. 77 feet drainage, French drain. So we got 70 feet, the French drain, 52 foot, the main drain. We got 50 foot of solid pipe drainage on the other side as well. It's not a French drain over there, not needed. And then we got, I'm gonna estimate, just for starters, I think two zones replaced, because they got covered with the pool and got severed. So I'm gonna start it at 2 zones replacement. Also, main water supply. The main water supply repair. The irrigation water supply. Water supply. Fix. All right. So, in reality, with the irrigation, it's like we're replacing 3 zones to an extent. So there's actually 3 new zones. So 3 zones, and then we have just 2 drainage, and that's it. I already have everything estimated. I don't think I'm missing anything here, but I'm gonna just double check myself, because there's no way for us to avoid tapping into the main water supply when it's damaged. If it's damaged, he know it got ripped up here, and he know it got ripped up throughout them putting the lighting to the pool in. So that main water supply is done. So the best way to fix it, and the easiest way to fix it, is start right where it's already where it ties into the main supply here. We're gonna start there, put new pipe in, and put it all the way going around. And I told you that's 200 feet. So that's 200 feet of PVC pipe going around. But then we gotta make sure, being that we have that open already, that's when we're gonna drop the pipe in for the zones that need to be fixed as well. All that stuff run together. So for the zone that fixes over here, we're not gonna dig a separate line. We're gonna put that zone that was damaged in that same trench. That's typically how all irrigation specialists do it. They put it all within the same area, because it doesn't make sense to separate it, especially when you already got the ground opened up. But I think I got all the adequate measurements, and I know what I need based off of the unit here. And if I need to, I can always come back to my video that I got right here. And this is something I typically do anyways. I record a video on site so I can make sure I'm remembering everything correctly. And then from there, I'll make sure I dot my I's and cross my T's, finish out the estimate. But they have right here the pool drainage, the overflow. They have a drainage that comes right here, and you see there's a PVC that comes right out. So when this pool overflow, and when you got to drain the pool, all of it's going to come out right here. And I think it's super close. Me and the client was talking about this. They put it super close to the fence. And I told y'all, when it comes to discharging water, making sure it's going the right that way, it's not a guarantee that that water is going to actually slope out, because it's so close to the fence. They should at least put it a little bit farther out and just put it to a discharge emitter. That way it looks smooth. Like a big pipe along the backside of your fence is not ideal. But yeah, I got everything I have here. Got 52 foot on this side. I'm good to go, y'all. And I'll be chopping it up with y'all about pricing a little bit. Yeah, rough. But I'm gonna chop it up with y'all a little bit later. When I went over the numbers of what everything that went into this project. see transparency of your design. Heard some of the conversation and click off of here. So I'll be tapping in with y'all later. Appreciate you joining.